I will now turn you over to our speaker for today to talk and help you get started with Power Apps. Ms. Riza Nasis Valencia, our digital workplace strategist for Microsoft.
Thank you, Lay. Okay, again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. We are on our day two of a series of Power Platform training. Again, my name is Riza, and I will be leading the discussion on Power Apps. So for this day, we have an introduction to Power Apps, the Power Apps building blocks, the types of applications that we can create in Power Apps, components and formulas, and a demo on how we can build our first app. So just to recap of what we had last week, so Microsoft Power Platform is a set of components that helps us to develop powerful solution. So we have Power Apps that we can use to build custom apps to solve business challenges. We have Power BI that helps us make informed, confident business decisions by using data-driven insights. We have Power Automate, the ability to automate organizational processes, and Power Virtual Agents that help us build chatbots. Okay, so next we have an introduction video of Power Apps.
You're ready to take your business to the next level. Problem is, you're held back by processes that are manual and time consuming. You can't find any off the shelf apps or services to solve your team's specific challenges, and you lack the developer budget to have a custom app built from scratch. Introducing Microsoft Power Apps, a powerful new way to turn business expertise into custom applications. With Power Apps, your team can quickly and easily create apps without writing a single line of code. That's right, the power to transform your business is in your hands. Power Apps has an intuitive design interface to guide you the whole way as you create apps for your team or business. Your app can integrate with data you already have or use our built-in platform. You can build apps for the web and mobile and take full advantage of your device's features. Plus, you can share apps with your team and quickly customize them as your business evolves. It's time to boost your team's productivity with a custom app that's exactly the right fit for your business. Ready to get started? Build your app today at powerapps.com or get in touch with a Microsoft partner to lend a hand.
Okay, so part of the decision point of whether to use Power Apps or not is on the dilemma of creating custom built apps. So sometimes we don't have the resources like budget, people, we don't have developers or time because creating custom built app is time consuming. And the question of who's going to maintain it. And also buying off the shelf software, sometimes it cannot solve your problem. Or worse, you have to change your business process to be able to use the software. So the purpose of Power Apps is to give you the ability to develop apps to serve your business needs and problems. These applications can integrate with your various data sources quickly and easily. So Power Apps is a no-code or low-code platform for building apps that allows citizen developers or those without coding skills to drag and drop application components, connect them together to create an app. So if you can envision an app to solve a business problem, then you can use your existing skills to build it. Okay, so what are the building blocks of Power Apps? So first we have the Power Apps homepage. So applications start here. So whether you build them from data, a sample app, or a blank screen. Next we have Power App Studio, where you can develop your apps further by connecting to the data, adding and arranging user interface, elements, and building formula. So this is where you can develop your apps to make them more effective as a business tool. Next, we have Power Apps Mobile, where you run your applications on Microsoft Windows, Apple iOS, and Google Android devices. And you can also use your device capabilities such as camera controls, GPS, and more. Lastly, we have the Power Apps Admin Center, where it allows you to manage Power Apps environments and other components. Okay, so what are the types of apps that you can build in Power Apps? So first we have Canvas app. So it provides you a blank canvas where you can drag and drop components in any form, in any formation to design a user interface. So if you are able to use PowerPoint and have a basic understanding of Excel formulas, so you can build Canvas apps and you can pull data from over 200 unique data integration sources right out of the box. Next, we have model-driven apps. So these are more suited for complex applications that have multiple layers and functions. So with model-driven apps, ang data source lang that we can use is Common Data Service. Okay, so when do we use Canvas and model-driven apps? Okay, so again, Canvas apps, this is ideal for building task-based or role-based applications. So for example, you have a team within your customer service that is strictly responsible for creating support tickets. Okay, so since this team is focused on one task, in this case, it is better to build the application using Canvas app. On the other hand, if you are creating an end-to-end solution, it is better to use model-driven apps. So for example, after the customer service support ticket has been created, syempre, di ba, it will be routed, it will be addressed, it will be updated, mark complete, and then there are quite a few teams or roles or processes that are involved to complete this cycle. So for this type of applications, you can go with the model-driven apps. Okay, before we had portals, yung mga applications natin in Power Apps, these are meant for internal applications and internal users only. So now that we have portals, it allows organization to create websites which can be shared with users external to the organization. Okay, yun nga lang, si Power Apps portal, it's not like the general Power Apps product. So it requires web knowledge, HTML, CSS, programming languages like yung Liquid and JavaScript. So yan, medyo complicated lang siya but it is very useful. Okay, so next we have yung Power Apps related technologies. So we have data sources. So yung data natin, it can be from Excel that is stored in OneDrive, or we have yung SharePoint list natin. So we can use that. For common data services naman, this is a data source option that you should explore further when using model-driven apps and portals. So yung data is stored within a set of entities. Okay, so ayun, you can explore this on your own. And then we also have Power Automate, where you can build automated workflows and run process and collect data and more. Okay, so you can also use Power BI to integrate within your Power Apps application. Okay, so whether the question of when to use Power Automate and Power BI to be integrated to Power Apps, kasi we have built-in charts and graphs also in Power Apps, and we also have built-in flow within Power Apps. So I think if you are using a complicated or a complex flow, it is better for you to use Power Automate since it is much easier than the built-in or yung mga limited flow inside the Power Automate. Or, I mean, inside Power Apps itself. Okay, so let us now go to the demo. So how do we access Power Apps? First, you can go to powerapps.com, or you can also go to make.powerapps.com, or you can go to office.com and then expand this, and then you will be able to see all the applications that are available to you. You can click on Power Apps, where it will then lead you to the Power Apps homepage. Okay, so this is the homepage of Power Apps, where you can start building your applications either from data sources that you already have, like an if you already have an Excel online or SharePoint list, so you can use that, or you can create an application from blank using this Canvas app, model-driven app, or portal from blank, or you can also create application using templates. So as I always say, it is always great to start with templates because you can explore how each application is built. Okay, so for our first demo, let me go through the different templates that we have. Okay, so um, I recommend that you use first the Power Apps training. Okay, let us try this. Click it and just click create, and then it will lead us to the Power App Studio where we can edit the application. Okay, so let us just wait. So this Power Apps training will be helpful for us, especially for those who are just getting started with Power Apps, because it will help you navigate the different controls that we have here. Yung mga controls natin, by the way, it is listed here on the left side. We have the functions here on top. Okay, so ito yung sinasabi natin na it looks like Excel kasi yung function, if you are familiar with functions or formulas in Excel, so it works the same here in Power Apps. Tapos, yun namang look and feel of PowerPoint where you can drag and drop items. It's here on the left side. So these are the controls. And on the right side, we have here yung properties nung each component natin. Okay, so how do we use an application from template? So since we are in the studio and this is Power Apps training app, so what we can do is we can either click the preview the app or press F5. So pag kinlik natin yon, so this is the preview of the app. So I want you to run through the instructions here, yung mga steps natin dito. Yan, sabi lang daw, press F5 and then yan, click on next. Tapos, yan, play this app using F5 ulit and then click the next button. So, if the task is completed, so you will you will toggle this and then click on next. Okay, so for this one naman, we can close this. And then, from within the design studio or here, you can click Alt if you want to play it. So, yon, two ways on how you can play or preview your app. You can click Alt, and then you can click on the components here, or you can click F5. So for this one, 'di ba? Tong Power Apps training app natin, by the way, these are series of what do you call this? Parang exercises, 'yon. Exercises that will help you navigate dun sa different controls that we have in this Power Apps studio. Okay, so like for example, this one, change the fill color of this box. So you will highlight this box and then select natin yung color. So saan natin siya makikita? You can see that on the right side. So you can select different color. Okay, so by doing that, napapractice na tayo on how we can navigate this, yung mga properties that we have here. Okay, next daw, change the font size of this label. So make this large. So yung font size natin, it's here. So make it larger. So I'd like to make it 15. And then change the image in this container. So click the image. Then click here and then add image file. So for example, I want to add this picture or this image. Okay. Okay, so after that, saka pa lang natin makikita yung next button. Okay. Yan. So you can try this on your own. This is a very good training application if you want to get started with Power Apps. Okay, again, it will help you navigate through the different components and controls and properties here inside the Power Apps. Okay, so leave na natin to ha, and let us try to create um, one application using a template. So let us try the help desk application. Okay, just click create. Okay, so what's good about these templates is that you can customize these templates and then later on make it your own. Okay, so ayan, hintayin lang natin siya mag-load. So just allow. Okay, skip natin. Okay, so let us try how it works. Preview natin. So, there are two ways to log in. So, you can log in as a help desk user or log in as a help desk admin. So, pwede nyo din itong i-change later on. So, for example, I am a user and I would like to create tickets. So, yan, you just enter the title and then category and then for example in okay, so laptop or software issue and then yung priority niya you can set it and then yung description and then for example yan and then click on create. Okay, so once submitted you can now see it if you are the admin and you can assign that ticket to somebody or to an engineer to help solve it. Okay, so you can customize this application. So meron tayo ditong mga labels if you want to customize yung look and feel of the application itself. You can also customize kung ano yung action that will be done once you click this. So, yan. Nakalagay dito, let me just see. Okay, nakalagay dito, if my profile, nakikita, ayan. If my profile is in admin list value, so is admin true, so you will be able to open this. So, ibig sabihin, kung nandun ka sa admin list, yun, you will be able to open this button. Okay, so yan, you can customize this, make it your own by um, going to file and then saving it and then publish it in your environment. Okay, so next, how do we create an application from an existing data source? Okay, so leave na natin to. Okay, so again, you just go to the home page and then select, for example, an Excel online. So previously, I created an Excel. So let me go to Excel. I created this table. So I have here last name, first name, pet type, pet name, date. So this is a vet on the go. Okay, so this is the application that I want to create. So kung ang aim nitong application na to is to um, have parang an appointment scheduling for the vet. Okay, so this uses yung Excel. So what you can do um, in order for you to use this as a table in Power Apps, so after you created your first what you call this first columns and data inside your Excel, you have to insert it as a table. So yan, kapag table na siya, and one thing more, when you create column title or column name like this one, last name, so it is advisable that you do not put spaces in between these words. Okay, so kung last name, ayan. So parang ano lang talaga, para kang nagde-develop talaga ng ano ng application. Okay, so yan, last name, first name, pet type. Okay. So once you're done with this Excel, you can now go to Power Apps and then click on the Excel Online. Okay, so since this is Excel Online, it is stored in my OneDrive. So I'll select OneDrive and then select on the Excel. So ito yon yung Vet on the Go. Okay, and then recognize niya that you created or that you have one table. So select it and then click Connect. Okay, so from the data source, Power Apps will now create three different screens. Okay, remember this. So, pag data source ang ginamit mo, it will automatically create three different screens. So, ano-ano yon? We have browse screen, we have detail screen, and we have edit screen. Okay, so yun yung tatlong screen na kina-create niya. So, how it looks like, let us try to preview the app. So, again ha, wala tayong ginawa. Automatically, from the data source, si Power Apps na yung nag-create ng application for us. Okay, so we have here, ito na yung browse screen natin. When you click this, ayan, so ito na yung details ng data natin. And then, let us go back if we want to add. Okay, click on this to create new item and then yan. Pwede na tayo mag-add dito ng details. Okay, so once we have that, we are now ready to edit our application. Okay? So, ano-ano yung mga pwede natin i-edit? So, dito sa left side natin, again, we have here the different controls. You can either select from the left side. So, for example, this one. Ito yung rectangle natin. Okay? So, this is the browse one gallery. So, ito yung whole and then ito yung text search box natin. Okay, and another thing pala, it is advisable that you change the name of each. So, for example, itong text search box one, you can change it to a name that will be easily recognizable for you once you create your formulas or functions. Okay, so for this one, we can also click on the browse gallery and then on the right side we have here yung layout. So we have different layouts here. You can select image and title. So yan, nababago. As you can see, nababago yung layout nung ano natin, nung application natin. So once you create, or you can insert image, title, and subtitle. Then, you can still add fields if you want. Okay, so how do we edit this? Just click on each text and then edit the text here. Or, since galing pala to sa data natin, we can edit what will be listed here. So, if we are going to look at the function, so this item, so nakalagay this item, that first name. So, what if we want to change this to, so ano yung mga options natin? So, we have here yung first name to ng person. Okay, and then we have pet name, and then pet type, service type, date. Okay, so depending kung ano yung need natin. So, for example, I want to use the pet type. So, yan. So, na-apply na agad siya. And then, for this one, if I want to use, for example, the first name of the owner. Okay, so yan. Okay, so you can also customize the theme. You can click here and then, for example, I want a dark theme. Yan, so na-apply na siya. And then again, if you want to see the preview of the file, you can click F5 or play. Okay, so ayan na siya. So what if I want to add? So name, so for example, John Doe. Ang pet name ko is Sam. pet type ko is cat. So, service type is, for example, consult lang. Kunyari, may sakit yung pet ko. And then, the date. So, you can select the date. So, for example, I want it next week. And then, yung time, I want it, for example, 9 o'clock. Okay, and then, submit the item. Okay, so once you submit it, okay, it will be automatically added dun sa list natin. Okay, so that is the first app that we created using a blank or using the data source. So what if we wanted, okay, so let us close this. So what if we want to create an app using a SharePoint list? Okay, so I can also do that. For example, SharePoint. And then select on the site that you have. So where did I put it? So for example, my new site. And then I have here a change request. Okay, so if you want to create a change request application that needs approval, so pwede din dito. Okay, so click connect. So by the way pala, what I have on SharePoint is this one. So, papakita ko din kung ano yung meron dun sa SharePoint list that I created. So, this is the list that I created. So, I have here, simple lang to. I have here request title, description, status, request type. Okay, so ang purpose nito is that whenever a new request is submitted, it should be approved by kung sino man yung nilagay kong approver, and then the status should be reflected here. Okay, so ganun lang kasimple yung application that I wanted to do. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, ito na pala yun. Na-load ko na pala siya. Okay, just skip this. So, ito na yung change request natin. So, yes, ayan, it is created already. Next, since meron tayong approval, I want to use Power Automate. Okay, so you can either open your Power Automate or from SharePoint itself, you can create the flow here. Okay, so kung ito yung list natin, you can click on Power Automate and then create flow. So, I will use a template lang din para mabilis. So, ang gagamitin ko is start approval when a new item is added. Okay, so yan. Click lang natin yan. However, kasi ano to medyo kulang itong template na to. So, what I want to do is that after, di ba, sabi ko, after an item is approved, I want na magkaroon, yung status will be changed to either approved or rejected. So, paano yon? So, since this is the template, ang ilalagay ko lang dito is kung sino yung approver. So, for example, siya na lang din yung approver, si Adele na lang din. And then, I will put an action here so that kapag na-approve siya, gusto ko yung SharePoint natin, what do we want to do? Ma-update natin yung list natin. So, update natin yung, let us select, ayan, update item. Okay, so point lang ulit natin dun sa site natin. So, ano yung site natin? May new site. And then, kung ano yung list natin, change request. Yung ID natin, dynamic yan. So, kung ano lang yung ID that we have. And then, yung request title natin is also request title. Then, yung status, this will depend kung ano yung response nung nung approver natin. So, either approve or reject. Ayan. Okay, so after that, I will create another one for kapag rejected naman siya. Okay, so again, click on SharePoint and then update item. So as you create or as you try itong Power Automate natin, mafa-familiarize na kayo. So, mas magiging mabilis na um, yung paggawa natin ng, ng mga flows natin. Okay, so you can asan ulit yung natin, my new site, and then yung SharePoint list natin is change request, and then ID, and then request, title, and then yung status natin should come from the response of the approver. So, ito yon. Okay, so let us try. Okay, flow checker natin, wala namang error. So, let us try. Save natin. Ay, yung palang power apps natin, hindi pa natin nasa-save. Okay, save natin to, file, again, file, save. So, um, I'd like this to be changed. Then, save it. Okay, so once it's done, okay, balik na ulit tayo dito. Let us try to preview the app. Okay, so let us create another, for example, test 4. Description natin is, hindi, wag na natin lagyan ng description, status hindi din. Okay, request type. So for example, this is just an update. And then, okay, submit na natin. Okay, so we have here yung test 4 na. Okay, so close natin to. And then let us now go to our flow. Let's see if it's been added or if it run. Okay, so mabagal lang siya. But this is how it will look like. So after. So when you go back to your SharePoint, dapat yung status niya will be changed to approved or rejected. Plus, you will also have, okay, I think I have another example here. So let me just go to my account. Okay, so this one, I have here SharePoint. Okay. Okay, so this is a similar app that I did dun sa demo natin. So once the status is approved, of, how does it look like pala? So in your email, you will have here a request um, na merong approval. So kapag kinlik mo na yung approved, you will now then see the status here in your SharePoint that the item is approved or rejected. So that's how the flow goes. Okay, so medyo mabagal lang, hindi pa nag-upload dito sa kabilang ano natin. Okay, you can check on Outlook. Ayan, ito na pala siya. So please review test 4. Okay, ito na pala siya. Ayan. So once approved, submit lang natin. Then refresh natin yung SharePoint natin. Ang tagal. Okay. So yon, yung test for natin, ayan. So may status na siya na approve. So yon. So that's how to create template from or an application using SharePoint list in Power Apps. Okay, so for the next demo, let me call on Jonathan to demonstrate on how we can do cascading list in SharePoint using Power Apps. So let me just stop sharing. Okay, so Jonathan, you may now share your screen. So yung cascading list naman, it is useful when you have several lists that are related to each other, and you only want to see relevant option based on the previous selection. Okay, so you may now go ahead, Jonathan.
Hello po, good morning. Miss Riza shows you how to create standalone apps. Today, I'll show you how to use Power Apps as a feature to SharePoint Online. So on my demo, I'll create cascading dropdown in SharePoint list using Power Apps. So cascading dropdown looks like this. So ito siya. Notice that when I change the options on the primary dropdown, which is the region, the next drop down displays the items related to it, which is the city. So for example, like on this list, when I change the region, let's say NCR, items on the city drop down also changes and update. Okay. SharePoint list SharePoint list itself doesn't have this kind of feature, and because of the help of Power Apps, we're extending the capabilities of our SharePoint list. We're now going to create an item delivery list using SharePoint list. And we'll doing a cascade drop down on the item delivery location. So all we need to do first is to go on our SharePoint site and create lists. So here's my SharePoint sample site. We're now going to create a list. So on our first list, we will create a region list. So click on the gear settings, a gear icon, and then click add an app, then select the custom list, and then let's name it uh, region list. Then click the create button, right? Then go to your region list. Then we will add items on per list. So I'm going here to the website wherein you can get the list of regions and its cities. So let's say so on my example, kukuha lang ako ng apat na region. Copy. Then let's go back to our region list. Then click the edit in grid view. Tapos click nyo lang yung title ni uh, title na text box and then paste. And then exit grid view. Oops. Delete ko lang siya. Okay. So once done, create naman tayo ng we're going to create the next list, which is the city list. So click nyo lang ulit yung gear icon, then add an app, custom list, and then let's name it city. Let's name it city list, then create. And click natin yung kinreate nating list. So on my city list, mag-a-add muna tayo ng additional column. So in order to do that, click nyo lang din yung gear icon, list settings, then under columns, may makikita kayo dyan create column na link. Click nyo lang siya. Then type, let's name it region. Then the type of information in this column is select lookup. And under additional column settings, so may makikita kayo dyan, get information from region list. Then once na-select nyo na yung region list, in this column, select nyo lang yung title. Ayan. Then click OK button. So nakapag-add na tayo ng additional columns. Edit and grid view. Then punta tayo dun sa copy and then paste. Then specify the region for each city. And ARMM. Okay. Tapos, for the last one, kuha na lang ako ng dalawa sa NCR. And then last, for the region 1, kuha tayo ng apat. Region 1. Then click exit grid view. Ayan. So, meron na tayong city list. And then, and our last list is to create the delivery list. So again, click the gear icon, add an app, custom list. Then let's name it delivery list. Click create. Ayan. Click nyo lang yung delivery list. Then, add tayo ng columns para dun sa regions and city and other details dun sa delivery list natin. Okay. Click nyo lang yung list settings nung delivery list. Then, under columns, create column. And let's add first the region. Then, select lookup. Then, under additional column settings, select nyo lang din ulit yung region list. In this column, title. Then, click OK button. Next column naman is for the city. Then, choose lookup again. Then, under additional column settings, click the city list. Okay. And then the title. And click the OK button. Yan. Then, our last column, add tayo ng additional delivery details like item delivered. Okay. So, let's leave it as a single line of text. Then click OK button. So, click nyo yung delivery list na title para ma-redirect kayo dun sa delivery list nyo. So we already have a delivery list. So as you notice, when you click new, kapag nag-select kayo ng region, hindi pa siya na-auto-populate. So ayun yung gusto natin i-achieve for today is yung hello, Miss Riza. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Sorry kung na-disconnect po ata ako. So, in our as our objective, dapat dependent itong si city drop down natin every time we changes the region. Okay. So how can we do that? So, dito sa taas, may makikita kayong power apps, then customize forms. So click nyo lang siya. Ulitin ko ulit. Yan. Wait lang natin habang nag-load. So after nyo maklik yung customize form, so ganito yung itsura niya. Getting things ready. So wait lang natin siya. So still loading pa din. Ayan. So welcome to Power Up Studio. So click natin yung skip button. So ayan. So ito yung itsura ng kapag click natin yung customize form. So dito sa left side, may makikita kayo dyan na form screen. Then under form screen, yung SharePoint form. So bago tayo add ng code or ng formula para dun sa cascading dropdown natin, i-edit muna natin yung name ng ating drop down for region tapos city. Region. So, our city. So first dito muna tayo sa city. Then may makikita kayo dyang data card value tree. So palitan lang natin ng rename lang natin siya. Ayan. Drop down list, city. Tapos dito naman sa data card value 2 ng region, rename natin siya as DDL region. Ayan. Then after that, dito sa left side, may makikita kayo dyan na itong data icon. So click nyo yung siya. Tapos from connectors, click nyo yung SharePoint. Ito. Then click yung, so if you have already an existing connection, click nyo lang. Then kapag wala, add a connection. So since I already have a connection to SharePoint, click ko lang yung account ko. And then, so yung sites wherein nasaan, kung nasaan yung delivered items na list, as a sample site. And then, since we're populating the city list, i-add lang natin ito. Ito lang yung need natin, yung city list. And then, after that, click connect button. And, okay. Then, going back to your controls, so click nyo lang yung tree view icon. So, ayan. This will make you go back to the and your controls. Okay. Then for our next step, sa next step natin, click niyo yung city na drop down. Ayan. Then on the right side, click niyo yung advanced tab. Then unlock change properties. Also, dun rin sa region na drop down. Click niyo yung unlock. So once we already unlock the controls ng region and city, balik ulit tayo sa city na drop down. Tapos dito sa left side, may makikita kayo dito na drop down din. So dito nyo makikita yung method, no, functions or controls or methods ng controls. Yan. So under items ng city drop down, so click nyo lang yung formula. Ayan. And then expand natin yung view ng formula. Tapos mag-a-add lang tayo ng code. Okay. So ito yung structure ng code natin. For all filter, so dito i-rename lang natin siya as city. City list. So ito yung name ng SharePoint list natin. Tapos i-compare natin for what column. So bale, dun sa city list natin kung maaalala nyo, meron tayong region na column ng region, ah, type nyo ng region, and then data card value 2. So ito yung drop down list name nung region dito sa app natin. So palitan lang natin siya as DDL region. Yan, selected ID. Tapos small r pala. Okay. Then now we're good. Okay na yung formula natin para dun sa ating city dropdown. Then just ignore the warning signs. Then after that, after nyo ilagay yung formula dun sa city dropdown, punta tayo dito sa region na dropdown. Tapos hanapin natin yung on change property. Yan. Then sa on change property ng region, um, copy natin yung code. Reset DDL city. So ibig sabihin yan, ibig sabihin nitong formula, every time na nag-change tayo ng item sa region, i-clear niya yung drop down na city. Okay. Then I'm finished modifying the power apps nung SharePoint list. Then after that, click nyo lang yung file tab, save, publish to SharePoint. So yan, click nyo lang yung publish to SharePoint, the button. Then yan. So as you noticed, all changes are saved and published. Then to look, para makita yung changes dun sa SharePoint list, click nyo lang yung link. Yan. So please take note na may propagation time lang every time na nag-e-edit tayo nagko-customize tayo ng forms sa SharePoint list using Power Apps. So check natin if nag-take na yung changes. So when I select the region, ayan. So kung mapapansin nyo, hindi pa siya nagte-take effect. So wait lang kayo siguro mga less than 5 minutes para mag-take effect siya. Then after that, ganito na yung magiging itsura niya. So proceed lang tayo dito sa already made ko na cascading list. Ayan. So for example, let's say del 001, then let's say yung delivered items sa Baguio City. Tapos items delivered. Ayan. So as you can see, once na nagawa niyo siya, so ito na yung result nung ginawa nating cascading dropdown. So when I select region 1, papakita niya lang yung city ng region 1. To region 2, ayan. Okay? So I'm done. Miss Riza, thank you
Okay,
po.
thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, so I hope nasundan natin yung complex application that Jonathan did using cascading list. Okay, so let me share my screen again. We want you to explore on these links to help you on your journey with Power Apps. You can check on the Power Apps documentation, what's new, the learning catalog. You can also join Power Apps community and check this for the licensing questions on Power Apps. Okay, so I think we are done with the presentation. We can now go on with the Q&A.
Thank you, Riza, and thank you, Jonathan, for sharing your insights and expertise on the Power Apps platform. And thank you, everyone who joined and stayed up to the top of the hour. So before we finally end the program, I have here showing on your screen our QR code and URL for our feedback form. Tokens for your attendance will be delivered to your emails after this webinar. And for more information about our products and services, you can visit our website or follow our social media handles on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search for One Fill Data or just type in Fill Data. Again, good morning and thank you everyone for joining. I hope you have a good rest for the day.